Hello and welcome. We are live here. I love it again. We back, big dog.
Yes, sir. As they
Hey
say,
man,
it's been a long time.
we shouldn't have left you without a dope pod to step to.
Yes, indeed.
Um, Hold on a second, man. I got Twitter taxing me, big dog. I gotta go premium
Oh
to
yeah,
be
yeah. So I yes, you do. In order for it to stream live.
bro.
Yes, they did change up on that. Yes.
It's been a long time, bro. As you mentioned, it's been a long time. So now I gotta do this live and go premium and get my head busted by Twitter. Why y'all like, bro? Like, what are we doing?
That's something we should have talked about because we could have threw it over to women's hoops hidden gems since I'd already paid for it. Yes. Yes,
Yo,
that
hey man. Now they telling me I already got Twitter.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of that, you're not going to be able to do that right away. Um, Even when you do pay, it's going to take either a couple hours or a day, something to that extent. I
It's
forgot
all
about
right.
that. Yes.
I'm throwing it to my other account. It's fine. So for those that plan to watch from the Love of the Game Twitter account, it's okay. You have to go to my personal. Dre underscore is reloaded. And now we're live. Good
Let me
grief.
hold on. Let me go ahead.
Hey, but listen, we got a great show lined up for everybody tonight because we are highlighting the young ladies who are going to be on display when we are talking about the Southeast Top 100 Camp brought to you by Women's Hoops Hidden Gems. Where I wanted to go with this first, man, um, before we went too far into it, there was an announcement. Before the camp announcement, there was an announcement about a collab between Women's Hoops Hidden Gems and Love of the Game. And I want to explain to some people about the collab first, um, before we get into the camp and all of that. I feel like they laughed at us, man. I feel like when we announced the collab, people didn't want to, you know what I mean, feel like anything was coming.
We're here now.
Listen, I'll just say this, man. Me and this guy go way back. We've known each other for a very long time. Um, I've known 25 plus years. And we decided to jump in and do a collab on the women's side. And a lot of it, for those that know me from the boys side of basketball in Georgia, one of the best podcasts to ever take place in grassroots basketball on the men's side. Say what you want, call it what it is, but Love of the Game was where it's at. Now, broadening our scope, broadening our coverage to cover women's basketball. People may not know this was something that was talked about for a very long time. It was a long time in the making. I didn't want to be disrespectful about it. When it was first brought to me that we should start doing interviews and cover women's basketball, what I told to people was I wanted it to be authentic. And the truth of the matter was I hadn't spent enough time on the women's side to feel like that it was authentic. I didn't want people to feel like it was a money grab. I was just jumping in on the women's side, just because. I didn't have roots on that side. I was an AAU coach on the boys' side. But my good buddy jumped in to the women's side with 2 feet and took off running with Women's Hoops Hidden Gems. And I feel like the timing was perfect. It made a lot of sense. I feel like the media arm of Love the Game could help a dear friend who is doing tremendous work. Dave will never tell you guys. There's not a coach in America that he can't call and they pick up the phone. Like when you start placing girls at UConn, LSU, Colorado, and listen, I feel like he doesn't place enough girls at University of Louisville. We're gonna talk about that later. So while you're sending girls to LSU and we can't get one in Louisville, Shay Robinson, I got your back. I'm gonna get on Dave's head. We need to get this. We need more
Shay's my
university.
guy. No, don't have Shay calling me with that.
We need more love at University of Louisville. But I'm talking to Dave as a homeboy, as a friend, and he's telling me what he's doing and what he's accomplishing on the women's side. So it was more of a natural fit now to bring love of the game as a media platform, as a media arm to what he was already accomplishing as a national scout and evaluator in women's basketball. Now I had to talk him out of getting away from the men's side so much, and that was kind of difficult to do. But but we'll talk about all of that. I just want to say, number one, Davis, it's been an incredible ride in a very short period of time. It's been a lot of fun so far. Um, but to me, this was for me as owner operator of Love the Game. This was a natural thing, and it was a pretty easy flip of the switch to be able to do. Um, Southeast Top 100 Camp is now alive, and it's a thing.
Yes, it is.
Um, I'm gonna don't y'all worry. I'm gonna convince Dave not to be so humble. At some point, like he's gonna pat himself on the back, or I'm gonna do it. So um, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. We are not the star of this show.
Man, listen, the Southeast Top 100, man. This was a vision, and we always talk platform and how we can enhance to help these kids. This isn't about me or you, and for people that don't know, it was me and Madre that were on the AAU side, on the boys side, and that was another reason why this became really prevalent, because we were an independent team that started to make a lot of noise. But one of the biggest things where people failed to realize was, yeah, you can win by 15 or 20, or you can beat this team or that team. But the biggest thing was, are you placing these kids at the end of the day? And don't get me wrong, there's some AAU teams and organizations that do amazing jobs of placing these kids. But are you placing them at D1s? Are you placing them at D2s? Are you placing them at D3s? Are you placing them at NAIs? Are you placing them at JUCOs? For you coaches that don't know, are you placing them at USCAA schools? Are you placing them at NCCAA schools? And which you'll quickly find out, what parents don't know, that some of these coaches don't even know what that is. And you have to be able to give options, because what kids and parents quickly find out, all of y'all aren't D1. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you should have options. You should be able to know down to what your military options are. You should be able to know what your Canadian options are. It's doing your research, but as Madre said, this took off so fast because once I jumped into this and just indulged myself, I quickly found out a lot of people didn't know. And when he came back to me and we start just throwing ideas around, here we are. And that's what this Southeast Top 100 camp is about. It's not just saying, oh, you came in and, you know, your team won the championship. That's nice. But, your team won 4 or 5 games. It's, did you play well in front of coaches? Do you have the grades? Do you know how to get more money than just athletic aid? Are you Pell Grant eligible? All of this is important to us. So it makes you um, a more attractive prospect as well, because a lot of people don't understand D2s and NAIs, they stack their scholarships. And when they stack their scholarships, that means they're depending on athletic money as well as academic and Pell Grant money as well. And a lot of you parents don't know that. And this partnership is so important because that media arm is going to explain a lot of this as we start dropping tidbits on Twitter, on the up and coming website. All of that is going to be explained, and it's going to be so important. This top 100 camp is only the tip of the iceberg, and I'm so excited to be here. With my guy. I know how he works, and I know how I work, and we're going to work 24/7 to get this information out to you, to get to the platform that's needed as well.
100%. I think what people are going to quickly realize is we're passionate about getting people in school. That was one of the things of switching to the women's game that we wanted to work with kids and parents who cared about their education and were passionate about their education. It's bigger than basketball. Although when it comes to the basketball, this is a first rate event. And we're going to get to the stars of the show, which are the players. Uh, David, we jumped out here. We announced the camp. We started sending invites. And when you talk about the level of talent that quickly locked in to this event, like give us a rundown of some of the names and faces that popped in immediately and locked in with us.
Man, do we have enough time for that? Is the question.
We're not going to call everybody's name. As much as I want to, there's so many kids that I want to talk about, but we're not going to be able to call everybody's name.
Man, when I say there's so many quality players, you had coaches that have approached me and they were saying, "Can I really get some of these kids?" And what they don't understand is some of these kids don't have any offers. But in the same sense, we have kids that have Power Five offers already, have mid
A lot
major
of them.
offers, have low D ones. We have some that have D2 offers as well. We have some that are high academic D3 offers as well. It's a mix, and that's what I love about this camp the most because you don't know what you're going to get. Are you possibly going to see some of the ESPN kids there? It's very much a possibility you're going to see some of those kids. Are you going to see some of the young ladies that play for some of the top AAU programs in the country? Absolutely, you are. But what I love about this, you're going to see some of the kids that play on some of these independents that you've never seen before. And unless you're a scout or you've been to Run for the Roses or you've been to War Games or you've been to Heart of Texas or, Clash of Clubs in Texas as well, you may not know some of these kids. You may not know them. And, a lot of coaches will be like, why haven't I seen them? Well, you haven't been on the independent circuit. And as we said before, we're big advocates of shoe and independent. We don't like to say, oh, if you're not a shoe kid, you're not good. Or, oh, if you're an independent kid, you're not good enough. No, we don't believe in neither one. We believe there's players on both sides.
Hey, I think we're going to see. I feel like this platform, the top 100 camp, don't get me wrong, it jumped up to an elite level very quickly. There were players, like you mentioned, that have multiple high major offers. So many high major offers that you wouldn't know that they had any other offers outside of high major, right? And there are, I can think right off the top of my head, there's about 5 of them, 6 of them that a slew, right? When you talk about CC Dennis and what she's been able to do, Leah DeWitt is in this event and what she's been able to accumulate. She's got 4 or 5 high major offers. L'Oreal Mary is in this event. She's got offers. Shakaidas Dooms, special guest Shakaidas Dooms, that will be in this event, and she's got high major offers. I mean, we could go on, right? With there probably 3 or 4 more just right off the top of my head that we can name with a lot of high major offers. But if you are a hooper, event is for hoopers. If you're a hooper and you want the smoke, we brought the smoke to Atlanta. We brought the smoke right to Georgia, where there's a slew of big time players. And whether you're a shoe or independent, we both know none of that can save you when you get in between them lines. That shoe thing can't save you when you jump in between them lines and you got to play. This is an event for hoopers. So if you want to take a shot at somebody that is ranked, I can think of a couple of kids, like Dave said, that I'd be willing to put money down are going to be ESPN top 100 kids that are in this event.
Mhm.
But if you're a shoe kid and you feel like, yo, I just need an opportunity. I just need an opportunity to be able to prove myself and play against that level of talent. This is an event where you have a platform where there's no ducking. You can't hide behind nothing. You're going to have to get out there and strap up and lace up and prove that this ranking or your offers or the hype is what it really is. Because hey, it's some young ladies from Louisiana, from Mississippi, from Alabama, from South Carolina that may not have what you have, but they coming. They coming, and you're gonna have to hoop. You're
Mhm.
gonna you're gonna have to play. Hey, we just talked to last night the number one player in the class of 2026 out of South Carolina, ready to lock in and go. I can't wait to drop that edit. But you're going to have your chance to take a shot at some people with some names, and the media coverage is going to be done in a way that the favoritism, the politics, all of that stuff is going out the window. It's going to be based on your play. It's going to be based on your play. And that's why I think this event is going to be so great.
I couldn't agree with you more. And man, you named some really good players. Man, when I think of a young lady out of Mississippi by the name of Madison Jones, and I saw her, and it's only the only reason I saw her is because I traveled and I saw the young lady at Run for the Roses, and I was like, who this? And again, it wasn't when you explain the politics, the team she played for, they have a number of players coming. They weren't on the main court because the main court was an EYBL court. So you're gonna have to walk down a little bit. So when I saw that sisterhood team, I'm thinking to myself, why aren't a number of coaches looking at a number of these young ladies? Well, they're independent and their platform, they have a good team, but they just need to be on that platform for coaches to say, hey, you need to check this team out. They got a couple of bigs. I mean, and Madison fits right there. Madison Jones, 6'2". Now, everybody in Mississippi knows about her, but our job is for everybody outside of Mississippi to know who she is. And it's not just her. They have another young lady that played. And you remember when I tweeted out, and you're saying, man, when she had 30 rebounds in one game, Rayleigh Jones, and you was like, I was like, I'm dead serious. She had 30 rebounds, bro.
I am talking to college coaches right now. I don't care if you're playing pickup in the backyard against your little cousin. 30 rebounds is 30 rebounds, and rebounding translates to the next level. If you let Rayleigh Jones get out of Mississippi, you are out of your mind. You are out of your mind. And if I'm a Georgia coach, I'm pulling the ski mask on and I'm trying to commit a robbery because I'm trying to get that young lady to commit.
Well, the thing is, this goes back to what we just said. It's the exposure piece. Like, yeah, if I'm the state of Mississippi, I don't want nobody to know about her. Mississippi got their ski mask on as well because they're like, no, we're not letting her out of the state. Now, her organization did a great job by getting her up to Run for the Roses, and there's 2,000 coaches up there. Now, with there being 2,000 coaches, you need to know, like, their coaches, they were out there like, hey, take a look at my team, take a look at my team, take a look at my team. But there's 80 courts up there, Dre. And when there's 80 courts, that's hard to cover every court. So unless you have somebody that can speak on your behalf to say, hey, you need to get over to court 22 or court 12 or court 40 because this young lady is playing, sometimes you may miss those kids and you may miss this person, or you may see it on Twitter and you may mark it down for the next day, like, oh, I need to get over there and see who this is. That's the pros and the cons of this because fortunately, yes, I was there and I was like, okay, who is this? And I'm looking at this team and I'm like, okay, they got 6'1", 6'2". They got some good wings. They got some good point guard play. And you start to scratch your head and say, okay, why don't more people know about this team? And they won the Aqua division up there, right?
Hey, listen, they're gonna know. You're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today because those young ladies, and there's a thing. Hey, man, look, everybody. I don't care what level that you're on. Everybody asking for the same thing. I need posts. I need
Mm-hmm.
posts that know their post players. Well, when you look at the post players that are coming to this event, when you talk about Rayleigh Jones, when you talk about Madison Jones, when you talk about L'Oreal that's going to be at this event, when you talk about the young lady from McKeitron, Summer Edwards, that's going to be
Summer
at this
Edwards.
event,
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about the ladies that are coming out of Savannah that are coming to this event, 6'3", 6'2",
Kevin Arkwright.
like,
Mm-hmm.
like, listen, the post matchups, and I ain't even talking about my favorite post yet. That's coming out of Augusta. What is it, Augusta Christian or Athens Christian? I think it's
Athens
Athens
Christian.
Christian.
Athens Christian.
Listen, 6'3", mobile, can move, can score. Like, there are gonna be so many post players at this event that from that 6'1", 6'2" range and up. We got 6'4" coming from the Dominican Republic, out of Central Point, Florida, coming up to this event. The post matchups are going to be insane. It's going to be something to watch. It's going to be some people that make a name for themselves in this event on Saturday, and I can't wait.
You know what? You said something, and yes, the post play is going to be out of this world. But man, don't sleep on that guard play. There's going.
Oh, it's smoke! It's smoke! It's
Hey,
smoke!
you said something earlier. Those guards, when you line up that Saturday, mom can't save you and dad can't save you. You better come locked in because the thing I love about these type of events, yeah, you have a lot of these young ladies have names from the area they're from. And one thing you'll learn when you get to college, once you get to college, wherever you're from, that doesn't matter anymore. And when that doesn't matter, it's going to be just like that at the camp. You might be number one in Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, North Carolina. We got some coming from Kentucky. That could be great. You can be like, oh, I was all state. But then there might be somebody we never heard of that might not even made all region that's going to come in here hungry because they're trying to prove themselves.
Hey, listen. I got a paycheck that Asia Patton, the point guard Asia Patton, it is coming in on mission.
You know
She's
what?
coming in on mission. Point
Let me
guard.
check.
Play
Let me check.
around.
Let me check you on that. Asa is not going to be able to make it, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah, Asa's not going to be able to make it. Oh, hold on. As much as we miss Asa not being able to make it, and that's a late scratch. That's a late scratch. You know, Dad. Dad sent me a text this morning. And he was like, "I apologize." He was like, "We really wanted to come, but we can't make it." But man, you take Asia Price and replace that with Amaja Price from Louisiana. Dre, I'm telling you. And it's not just Louisiana. Let's be clear. Like there's going to be some guards from everywhere, from Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, South Carolina. And I almost, outside of being an evaluator, these are events, Dre, sometimes you turn into a fan.
Hey, I got a couple more names, dude. I got a couple more names from the guard spot. Again, I'm talking about the names that okay, CC Dennis. I think we both agree she's gonna
Oh,
be ESPN top 100, right? If
yes.
she's not
Yes.
already, like we're expecting that to be like whenever the new rankings come out for this season, she's gonna
Yeah.
be ESPN top 100. But don't sleep from Hazel Green High School, Darren DC
Oh,
Good.
oh
Do
yeah.
not listen. A
Yeah.
problem. Don't sleep on Heaven Bailey.
Evan
Out of
Bailey. Yes.
a problem. A
Yes.
problem. Hey, we talk the guard play in this event is going to be like we talked about the DeWitt sisters. Like everybody knows and understands. But hey, listen, a young player like Gabriella Benjamin out of Lakeside High School, coming in a bucket getter. A bucket getter. She's going to be coming in with a lot to prove against some of these young ladies that may have, a bigger name. She's just a 2027.
Yep. No, you're right. And let's not forget the other part of the guard trio with AEBL, Morgan Reckley. Hey man, I was up at Adidas and watched her, Leo DeWitt, and Momo Moore. Now Momo's not coming to this event, but that trio of those three guards, they had the courts packed out. Look, that was fire and ice plus one.
Hey, Morgan Reckley is what I call a 1-4 low special. Clear out.
Get out of the way.
Get out the way. Get out the way. She is a young, hey, listen, she's one of those players that make you make the ugly face all the time. She make because hey man, listen, get out the way. No even need to get to a ball screen and none of that. No, just move. Just give her the ball and move. Go stand in the corner. Go put one in one corner, one in the other. Hey man, go stand in the corner. That young lady.
But that's what makes this so good, because you got excellent guard play, and we've only been talking about the guards in the post. We haven't even got to the wings yet.
Shooter in the building.
Yeah, I mean, we got wings. I mean, if I'm a coach, I'm just like, I want her, I want her, I want her, I want her, I want her.
Hey, Sky Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
A 5'10" 2 guard. I got my eye on two big guards. Sky Cleveland, a 5'10" 2 guard, and also Journey Johnson.
From Louisiana.
6 foot sniper. 6'2" guard that is a sniper. When you talk about the guard play and the Morgan Reckleys of the world and all of that can handle, right, and collapse in a defense, we got people out here in camp that they're going to be able to kick it out to. That's money. That's money. You better not help. You better not help. You gonna catch it out the net if you help. You gonna catch it out the net if you help.
And that's what I love about this. And the other thing that I say this with pride, a number of these young ladies are high academic, man.
Very true.
And with them being high academic, they open so many doors for themselves that they don't even realize. Like, a coach is going to be able to look at them and say, oh, and again, let's say they're a high D2. Some of these young ladies may get full academic scholarships and be playing basketball. And I just look at this, we talk about this all the time. It's about going to the right fit, whether you're D1, D2, D3, because let me say this. Some of those high major D3 programs that you people are not aware of will be there. Some of these UAA schools, and I know some of you are probably saying, what's UAA? Do your research. Some of these UAA schools that are D3 will knock off some of these D2s and low D1s.
100%. Not only that, they fly private.
They fly private. Their facilities are better than a number of D2s and D1s. It's just about doing your research, because if it's bigger than basketball, those are elite academic institutions.
100%.
So, you got to pay attention to the full package. If you're just trying to go to say, oh, I went to, SEC University or ACC University. I don't want to name any names because I don't want any coaches on my head.
I don't want no smoke either, D, but we all know there are some D1s out there that you can go D1 and if the bus break down, you're gonna have to get out and help change that tire. versus if you at Wash U, you're gonna be on the tarmac flying in a private jet on your way to a basketball game. There's levels. There's levels. You better be
I mean,
careful.
for UAA schools, and and that you remember how much we used to be detailed about that. Like, you remember when we went to a UAA game and we pulled up and the big coach bus was right there, and you was like, "Oh, they brought that down from the school." I was like, "No, they brought that from the airport." They brought that from the airport. No, and you know that's what this is going to be about. Your show that you're going to be having in the fall, where you're covering a lot of these high schools. I think that's great, and this is the type of information people need to know. And this Southeast Top 100 camp is just the tip of the iceberg. To start passing along this information on the school's behalf of all levels, of
all
all
levels,
levels.
all levels. Because just go to school, get your education.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not pro anybody but education. Go get your education. Have fun playing basketball. I'm not against going to the highest level. Competitors want to compete, and they want to compete at the highest level possible. And if that's what gets your juices going, I have no issues with that. Go get it, especially if they're giving you NIL money and all that kind of good stuff. Go enjoy the spoils of all of that. But we definitely are passionate about and want players to be aware and understand that there's money elsewhere. There's money and opportunity in other leagues as well. So we've got our first guest in the building. No expense was spared for this event. And our first guest coming up, D, I'll let you give her introduction really quick.
Let me take a quick look. Hold on, because you already know when I look at this, I just be like, man, I'm almost like a kid in a candy store. And when we talk about evaluators, we love this, that evaluators think of us enough to come into our event. And he's doing a phenomenal job where even me and Madre are like, who's this?
He is everywhere. I'm convinced he has a clone. There's no way there's just one guy. There's absolutely no way.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, allow us to introduce you to, if you don't know him now, you're going to know him real soon. Mr. Sid Johnson, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing real good. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. We sure can.
I really appreciate the intro, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing. Thanks for inviting me, and I'm just sitting back enjoying the show. That you guys are doing a great job.
And we appreciate it, but we give flowers when flowers is due, man. I mean, for people that don't know, who you are, man, and tell us a little bit about yourself. Well, not us. Tell the audience, I should say, because man, we were blown away when we saw you, and we were like, "Hey, man, who is this? Hey, let's reach out to him." And when we started seeing what you were doing, and how you were just all over the place, and you started, looking at some of these young ladies, like, I'd like to say I get out to a good number of these events, but I was like, man, he got me feeling bad a little bit. But I love what you're doing, man. First thing, I always look at this. This isn't about a competition between me and you. I look at this like, hey, iron sharpen iron. And what I saw what you were doing, hey man, hey, I like what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I just want to bring attention to the players out here that are really working hard, trying to improve their craft, trying to get as far as they can. Um, you know, really, I'm a former I'm a former high school basketball coach in the Detroit area.
Okay.
So I coached for about 25 years. I did middle school for about 12 years, fifth through eighth grade, and then it's at St. Mary's of Redford in Detroit, Michigan.
Yes.
And then I moved on to the high school level. First, I was an assistant at Cranbrook High School. You guys have probably heard the name.
Yes.
And then I became the head coach at University Liggett High Schools in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. very affluent area, and we were able to take the program from the bottom to a very respectable place. And so, I did, like I said, I did that for 9 years. I had to stop. I had to stop doing that because I started to. Uh, I was a professor full time at Grand Valley State,
Okay.
teaching economics, and so in order to do that full time, with basketball, I was working for the city of Detroit and coaching, but to do the professor thing, I really had to concentrate and really do that full time. Plus, I moved across the state to Grand Valley State University, doing that. Anyway, did that for about 4 years, and it allowed me to step into becoming a sports economics PhD student at the University of Michigan. When I get through there, I'm going to teach sports economics. I love being around the game. I don't know if I'll be able to come back around to coaching, but I definitely love being around the game. And so, any ability that I have to see players that have certain talents or certain ability to make the people around them better. I try to just enlighten as many people as I can, and so I'm working hard as I can in doing that.
Absolutely. And I mean, we look forward to having you come down to Atlanta. I mean, not just see just the Georgia talent, as you're going to see a lot of the good Southeast talent. And, we talk about a lot of these kids that some of them that don't have a name, and they're looking for that exposure piece. And, someone like myself, for someone like you, for someone like Madre as well, we feel like it's the platform to put them in front of this, to get them in front of the coaches to where they get that, that good exposure. And I want to say something as well. You're at Grand Valley State. Grand Valley is a good program as well that a lot of people don't know about.
It was a very very good Division II program.
Mm-hmm.
They're often in the NCAAs, competing for certainly getting into the tournament and advancing toward the Final Four. They have another tough team in their division over there at Ferris State University,
Ferris State,
Ferris State has a very good program, and then also. Well, it'll come back to me. I'm sorry, but there's another program that competes for titles over there on the west side of the state of Michigan as well. So, when I get my full wits about me, I'll remember that. But Grand Valley, excellent program. They have really good facilities. Every student that I talk to, that went to Grand Valley, they absolutely love the place. It's just it's grown so much in the last 15 years, and it's just an excellent university. So I'm absolutely with you there.
Let me ask you this real quick. I'm sorry, Dre. And this is something that I talk about that a lot of people don't know, but you're going to know this very well. Michigan has a good JUCO system as well for basketball as well. One of the schools that I love that a lot of people don't know about is Schoolcraft.
Oh, yeah. The Schoolcraft women's basketball program is very good. I knew one of the assistant coaches over there. Omar Ahart was one of the assistants, I believe, that was over there, and he did a really good job at University Liggett when he was doing on the high school side. So I'll have to talk with him and tell him that you definitely bigged him up on your show.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I've really been enjoying what the Southeast is doing. I've seen a lot of support on the women's basketball side, a lot of building in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, just huge active AAU programs, and I've just tried to tap into just kind of trying to see how everything works right now, see who who's really been who's really into teaching the kids, and and so anyway, as I go along, I've developed a few relationships, and so through the evaluations and as I get to do more evaluations and get more looks, I'll be able to help even more.
Absolutely.
Well, when I look at your Twitter, if for those that haven't been to Coach Sid's Twitter account, it's like a encyclopedia of player information. If you are a recruiting coordinator and you are not following Sidney Johnson, if you're not following Coach Sid, you are asleep at the wheel, because the way you have players broken out and categorized by region, by position. Mm-hmm. I saw your evals are out there. You got great Google Docs out there. You got YouTube clips. Like, it is a plethora of knowledge and information about players. And hey, listen, I've got to be honest. I went to a few of your lists, and a few of those young ladies got invites to camp.
Well, I mean, that's what this is all about. Getting our eyes on players that maybe in their roles on their AAU teams, they're not the number one scorer or the number two scorer, but certainly certainly a really good player, a really good a distributor. I mean, just a ton of players that can help D1, D2, NAI programs out there. It's mm-hmm. Like you were talking about earlier, matching the player with the fit for the program. And so the more that we can get the names out there, the more they'll find their best fit, and that's what this is all about. This is all free. Any evaluations that I do are, they're free. If I'm out here, tagging certain people, talking about them or trying to find out about them, it's not because somebody has tried to sponsor something that I do or something like that. This is just all for the students, and also to help coaches to find those people. So I'm going to hopefully get into having a website so that people can as I categorize the players, people can look them up, do their searches, things like that. So that's kind of the direction that I'm going to be going. But I cannot wait for you guys' camp. I will definitely be there bright and early. Was this Friday.
Cannot wait. It's going to be a great time, and I think a great experience for the young ladies at camp, because we'll have 3 courts, right? And as hard as I know that Dave is going to work being an evaluator and making sure he gets eyes on everybody at camp, no one national evaluator can see everybody. So having 2 national level evaluators at camp that are going to be tweeting out, cataloging, making sure that these kids have eyes, relevant eyes on them, is going to be great. We'll also have videographers in the building. The names will drop on Monday. Special videographers, names will drop on Monday. So I think this is going to be a tremendous opportunity for these young ladies. Sid, just tell me just a couple of things that stand out to you when you're evaluating a player that kind of lets you know, like, this young lady is ready to play basketball at the next level.
I kind of look at players to see what they're doing when they don't have the ball in their hands. Are they active cutters? Are they active screeners away from the ball? Now, I understand that some coaches' systems are such that driving kick systems where they have to wait for kind of the pass to come to them and be ready. But still, when you don't have the ball, what are you doing defensively away from the ball? When people cut, are they cutting right across your face without you bumping them and making them go behind you? are you talking? Are you telling people kind of what's going on? A back screen is coming. Are you an active helper? Just all kinds of things where you can't only play the game when the person in front of you has the basketball. I mean, your person's only going to have the basketball, some small amount of time, some small percentage of time, and so the game is really what happens when your person doesn't have the ball. What happens when you don't have the ball? Those are the things that I try to focus on, that the camera sometimes doesn't catch for a lot of people when they're looking at the game.
For sure.
Yeah, and then obviously I'm looking at the form. I'm looking at the form in their shot. I'm looking to see, are they do they look in the post? Do they pass to the post? If they're in the post, are they trying to establish position the entire time that they're in there? Just all kinds of little stuff that all the stuff that you guys as coaches have taught people in terms of boxing out and things like that. Those are the things I'm looking for. All the little things, and I try to find those people that are doing those things and try to find a way to put them in front of other people as much as I can, or highlight who they are.
Gotcha. I love it, Coach. I love it. Like, that answer was the perfect answer from an evaluator for me. Because, like you said, we'll have videographers in the building. There'll be 3 cameras in the building, covering every court. They'll catch the action, but the camera always follows the ball.
Agreed.
The camera always follows the ball. The camera doesn't always catch who the best defender really is in the building. The camera doesn't catch who the best cutter really is.
Yeah.
Who has the best intangibles in the building. The camera doesn't catch all of that. The person who created the shot in the first place. The camera doesn't always make the highlight tape. It's part of the reason why I stopped doing highlights, is because so much of the meat of the game is left out. You have to leave it on the cutting room floor to say, oh, this player took 13 dribbles before he took this shot. But as a highlight maker, I have to just show the last 2 dribbles and the shot going up. I can't show them dribbling the air out of the basketball before they took it. So
yeah, it's so weird. Kids want to, like a lot of kids, they see the stat for assist, and so they want to hold on to the basketball until they think that they're making the pass that's gonna directly lead to the score. And really, they need to make the pass to the person that's going to end up making the pass. In other words, the hockey assist, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You need to, and then, a lot of coaches talking about playing at 0.5, where where you're getting the basketball, making that quick assessment, half a second. Are you gonna drive? Are you gonna pass? What are you gonna do? Get rid of the ball, move. Golden State style basketball. At least what we've seen the last 10 years at Golden State. That kind of thing. In a lot of kids, they want to hold on to the ball. They want to do the Luka Doncic, James Harden thing, where they hold on to the ball for the entire possession. So a lot of habits that coaches have to break in order for us to get to the real basketball of players helping players to get the best shot.
Team basketball.
Definitely, and so the more that we can do as evaluators to highlight things that are leading to great team basketball, the better the game is going to be.
Sid, let me ask you this: what sticks out for you as an evaluator or prospect defensively?
Well, first of all, you have to have a defensive disposition. Defense is at least 50% of the game, and then so it's kind of like you have to want to play defense. You have to want to participate defensively, in that we are not going to let them score. And so, if I have to be a great help defender, I have to be a great rotator, if I have to be a talker, tell my teammates what's going on, what are they doing in this play, what are the keys, all of that stuff. You have to be an active participant. You have to want to play defense. And so that's really the first thing that I look for. I love length and I love deflections. The things that don't get captured on a lot of stats, but it's a lot of it is the want to, and then okay, you can have the want to, but are you just a serial fouler? Are you somebody that just are you someone that just fouls just because? Yeah, either I'm going to get the steal or it's going to be a foul. That's not because that's putting the other team in a position where they can hurt you when you play great defense, but the ref makes a mistake and calls a foul or something. So, you want to put the team in a great position as well. You want to be solid. You want to be a great helper. You want to have the disposition, but you want to be smart defensively too. So it's not just the athleticism. It's the want to, and then it's the cerebral part of the game. You got to be a free safety out there. You got to be a free safety out there defensively. You got to think about more than just the person that's directly in front of you.
Absolutely. I like that. And a lot of the stuff we're asking it from the standpoint we want players and parents to understand this is what we look for. This is what we pay attention to. We pay attention to the little small details like you post players. What does your footwork look like? Are you just trying to bully somebody over to score every time? Or do you have impeccable footwork that frees you up for an easier shot? Or for them serial foulers to foul you because that footwork is so good. Hey man, I'm taking that serial fouling, but I like that one.
No, it's all good. It's all for public consumption, so don't worry about that. But yeah, no, definitely. It's what are you doing that helps the team that may not that the untrained fan may not see. I would like to, those are the things that I am looking for as a trained eye. And so we as evaluators, we know what coaches, as coaches ourselves and or former coaches, we know what coaches are looking for as well. And so, we're trying to get the kids to think about the team, not just themselves. And it'd be great if parents were thinking about not just only their kid, but when other people do things that are helpful to the team to cheer them. It's all a team. We're all trying to get so we're all in the same boat. We're all trying to get to the next level. So let's all as a group prosper and get someplace. This is not it's not a thing where it's only your person matters. That's what we all would love to happen.
Hey, Bobby, watch yourself with that. Hey, you giving away your recipe right there.
well, Coach, I definitely appreciate you jumping on the show and sharing some time with us. It has been fantastic. I can't wait to meet you in person this weekend, man. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Awesome. And Saturday, obviously. I mean, Saturday morning, I cannot wait to see everyone there, and I know the players going to be ready to go as well. But it'll be great to see the people behind the scenes that are trying to promote the game. So I love it. I'll see you then.
Definitely, we appreciate you, man. Definitely.
All right, take care, guys. Talk soon.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.
Hey, man, when I tell you, the girls at our camp are going to benefit so much from having Coach Sid there. Again, another pair of eyes, another evaluator, respected, has been all over, right? We talking about a guy that's seen it at every level from all over. If you just go look at his page, you can see some of the players that he's been able to evaluate and see. Like the young ladies are going to benefit from this. This is going to be an incredible event. But we got another special guest coming on, and this is one of those times, D, you always say the work will speak for itself. We ain't gotta say nothing. The work gonna speak for itself. I'm gonna bring up some highlights, and then we're gonna bring our special guest on, and we just gonna let it speak for itself. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I ain't even gonna, cause I mean, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Hold on, man. Let me, you know what I mean? Let me give us a quick screen share. Let me get you. Hold on. Let me get you right, D.
Get me right. Get me right.
Right.
Because we got our AAU coach right here in our chat. He looking, so don't mess it up.
Hey, listen. I'm trying to get right, man. Let me just put y'all on to the level of talent that is going to be in the building. And if you miss watching this young lady play, you're out of your mind. You need listen. If you haven't seen her hoop, you need to make it to camp to watch some of these matchups, because when you, I'm just gonna play. I'm just gonna roll the tape. I'm just gonna roll the tape, bro. I'm gonna shut up talking. I'm just gonna roll the tape. Knockdown.
So she got one more.
And you know what, Drake? Go ahead and throw up Bobby's last statement.
Hey man, I think they know
Bobby's
what it
last
is.
statement up. Man, that right there. It's no disrespect to them. She's top 30 right now. I agree 100. She was at the NCAA Academy, and to his point, she hit 30 at the NCAA Academy. And I was looking like, what are we talking right here? Why is this even a question? Like, there's no question. She's had an excellent summer. Like, first live period at Boot Williams, she went off. I had coaches calling me like, you know this young. I was like, oh yeah. They was like, she's up here hooping. I was like, oh, I told y'all she can hoop. I'm like, what are we talking? And then she just parlayed that into Louisville. She parlayed that into Nike Nationals. She parlayed that into NCAA Academy. Like, yeah, like, and Bobby will tell you she's next up, bro.
Hey man, please. University of Louisville, please. Listen, I'm not gonna pressure the young lady when we bring her on. I'm gonna shut up. I'm going to be a shameless Louisville fan for 2 seconds. Please. Please. We need this young lady in the Young Center. Please. Hey, we need it. Coach Walls, let's get this done. Shay Robinson, let's get this done. Okay? We need this. Look, hey man. These numbers, man. Let's get these numbers up here.
Yeah.
47
for himself.
42 from 3 on EYBL.
Speak for himself.
Okay. Enough of me. I'm gonna have some couth. I'm gonna collect myself. I'm gonna have some couth. I'm gonna collect myself. But Coach Walls, University of Louisville, Shay Robinson, please.
Hey, look, Bobby trying to shoot that down right now. Like, no, she's from Louisiana.
Can we please get this done, man? Listen, I'm bringing Indy's chicken to everybody involved. If we can possibly make this happen, I need this young lady in Cardinal Red. Y'all gotta excuse me. I'm from Louisville. I'm born and raised. I love the city. Just, hey, man. Okay, cool. I'm done. I'm not gonna say nothing else. When we bring her on, I'm not gonna say nothing else, dude.
Okay. All right.
Please.
She queued up?
She is queued up, man. I'll let you do the intro, big dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and say this now. If you don't know her, you will know her very soon. The thing I love about her is not only can she play, she's super humble, and she's one of those culture kids. And when I say culture kids, not just, oh, you're just sitting at the end of the bench. Like she's going to do whatever a coach asks. And when you have this type of talent, it just makes you that more attractive to a coach. Allow us to introduce to you all Miss Sakai Desdunes. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How's everything going down there at DME?
It's great. I like it. I really like it here. It's nice.
That's good. Man, I see Mike is loading up some more talent. Every time I turn around, somebody else pulling up in the building.
Yeah, yeah.
But you guys have to be that way because between you, Mount Verde, IMG, Central Point, Lehigh, the new prep out in Texas, man, I'm excited to see all these new schools. You all go at it,
Mhm.
over and over because man, you have to step it up. I mean, just like
Right.
you did this past season, for grassroots, it's going to be that way for prep as well. But I'm sure you're ready. And with you coming to the top 100 camp, I mean, for you, this isn't anything new. For some of these kids that are coming, this is going to be a shock to their system some because they're new, and with them being new, they haven't been on the type of platform. You played on the EYBL platform, you played 16U, so you played a lot of high level talent and you excelled. For some of them, this is going to be their first shot at this. So sometimes it may take them adjusting. Like, you played EYBL last year. So, you coming in this year, you were already ready for the challenge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. It did take adjusting to like last year. I didn't feel like I played decent, but this year I definitely like stepped it up, like efficiency wise, and really just every level of the game. I feel like so.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And, that led to, my gosh, you did well pretty much every session. And then you topped it off with what you did at the NCAA Academy. So, like Bobby said, it's not really even much to talk about. We're just waiting for the new rankings to come out because it's in my mind, when I told my buddy right here about you, I was like, hey man, listen. I was like, and there's not really much to talk about in the 26 class if she's not one of the top kids. And, I won't even have to go as far as say, oh, she's one of the top 10 or 15. But if you're not in that top 30, like Bobby said, and honestly, I feel like you're a top 20 player, especially for what you did this past summer, because very few did what you did. But I think you going to DME is going to solidify that. And it was nothing against John Curtis because you remember I saw you at John Curtis when you played at Showdown at the Lake. So I got a chance to see you as well. But I think this will solidify you being one of the elite players. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely feel like the same because DME, like I said, I love it here. I love the skill development part. And it's not really gonna do anything but make my confidence higher, and it's gonna just put me on a higher platform to where everybody can see and all the right people can see. So I can get top 30 and even top 20, like you said. So yeah.
I agree with that. But what people don't understand as well, and I mentioned this earlier, not just for you, but for a number of these players, you're a high academic.
Hmm.
So you're checking many boxes, because last time I checked, you were 4.0, if I'm
Hmm.
not
Yeah.
mistaken, right? You know what I'm saying? You got that type of player and you're 4.0. What, hey, what are we talking? All of these big schools out here, that's a slam dunk to me. That's a slam dunk. But Dre, what's your thoughts on it?
I just gotta ask, like, what are some of your goals coming into this season? Tell us about. I've seen a lot of the things that you do really well. What are some of the things you're working to get even better at, or some of the things you want to improve?
Well, I think, this year, like this summer, I did have a good summer, but, I played with three really talented guards on the ball. So I feel like I play off the ball a lot. So really these last few weeks I've been at DME and just the whole season, I'm trying to get way more comfortable with the ball in my hands. And I feel like I already am to this point, with Coach Mike and, all the other coaches, Coach Anthony, Coach Tia, Coach Bria, they all, helping me out with being more confident with the ball in my hands, being more of a point guard, I would say. And then like the political things like the rankings. I want to get, a few more Power Five offers just before the season even starts, and then obviously I want to win. Like I want to go out there and compete for the Chipotle Nationals Championship. Like I don't want to just come here and lose games and kind of put my name out there. No, I want to compete. IMG, Maver, Luhai, and play against all these girls. At the highest level, and that's Chipotle Nationals in my opinion. So.
What schools have offered you so far?
I
That's a
have,
good list.
yeah. I have to look. Hold up.
I know Purdue. Offered you. Let's see. Hey, look, Bobby got that. I know Bobby got that list.
Yeah, I sent it to Bobby the other day.
Because I don't want to miss, because I know that list is long. I know it's good and long now.
While we're looking for the list, I'll ask a little bit easier question. This is a question that I ask to every hooper that I've ever had on my show. Matter of preference, right? There's no wrong answer. However you feel it. Would you rather hit a game-winning shot at home and have the crowd go crazy, or would you rather hit a game-winning shot on the road and have the away fans go home sad? What's your preference on that?
I would rather do it away. Like I'm the type of like to like prove people wrong. So yeah, I would rather do it at an away game. But I have the list pulled up. So Auburn, University, Louisiana at Monroe, Charleston, ULL, UNLV, Houston, Rice, Colorado, Oklahoma State, Tulane, Purdue, Fairfield, and Harvard.
Got that Ivy League offer. Yeah, that just came through.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Okay. Hey, listen, you said a great academic, a great student. Harvard, we talking like another level. We talking world-renowned academia. So, okay. That's amazing. I got to cross some of my super easy, silly questions off the list. We talking somebody might go to Harvard. Good grief. Shakai, let's talk about playing on the EYBL circuit and what you were able to accomplish with SouthEast. Just tell us about your experience this summer and playing with the teammates that you were playing with. What are some of the moments that stick out to you as some of your favorite from the summer?
My experience this summer was great. Like David was saying, it was just I played great. So I mean, that's all I could really ask for. My teammates were great. We were winning games. I think we had the best 16U team in all of EYBL. Even though we didn't win, I think we had the best. So.
Okay.
But my favorite moments, I can't really pick one. Like we had a lot of like big wins. Like for us, I would say. Like beating Miami Suns. They were undefeated the whole summer. That was a pretty big one. So I think that was like my biggest one because we beat them by 30. So that was probably my biggest moment.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just a great experience overall. My teammates are great. I love playing with them. We were winning games. It sucked to lose in the Final Four to all Iowa. So
and all Iowa was good. I mean, So for people that don't know, you have to play impeccable defense when you play all Iowa because their read and react offense is out of this world.
Shakai, I gotta ask the questions that the people really want to know. What's in the headphones pregame? What are some of your favorite songs? What are your favorite artists that you listening to before the game starts?
Really, this summer I stopped listening to music. It was like a superstitious kind of thing. Like I played bad when I listened to music one time, and then I stopped listening to it. But usually I'm listening to like some chill stuff, like usually like Janae Aiko or Party Next Door. Sometimes I usually try to listen to like a few Marvin Sapp songs before the game. So that's usually like my go-to.
I'm a huge Janae Aiko fan. I don't blame you at all. I prefer all her stuff before she got with Big Sean, but that's another story for another day.
Let me ask this: when you come to camps like this, what is your mindset when you come to these type of camps and you have this type of this type of talent? You being from Louisiana, the Louisiana girls that are there, and that, Louisiana has a good brand of basketball. And you're familiar with a lot of these other young ladies because some of them play EYBL, Under Armour, what have you. So what's your mindset when you come to something like this and you feel like you still have to prove yourself because, like Bobby said, there's no argument that we feel that you're, one of the top players for 2026. But what's your thinking when you come into a camp like this?
I would just say like not to like I want to be humble in all aspects. Like I don't want to feel like I'm better than anybody because
Mhm.
all these other talented girls are coming like they're coming with like a chip on their shoulder. Like they might be looking at me like, oh yeah, I have to prove myself
Go
to
at her.
yeah, like
Yeah.
go at my head. So it's just coming with the mindset of being confident, trusting my work, and just pretty much going out there to kill. Like it's not really I don't know too many people who are coming that I've seen, but I know the Louisiana girls, and I'm gonna come at their heads just like I'm coming at the Mississippi girls, the girls from Georgia, like everywhere. So I'm proving myself to myself, kind of seeing where I'm at, and then also proving myself to some evaluators and just everybody else, to keep solidifying myself as a top player in the country. So.
Let me ask one last question, Scott. Do you feel like coming from Louisiana, you had something to prove?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely feel like I had something to prove because when I played there, I feel like people were still, sleeping on me, and they still felt like, they might feel like I didn't get in the gym enough, or I wasn't, as good as people were saying I was. So now I'm gonna come to Florida and just prove them wrong. Pretty much, just keep getting offers and keep getting better in all aspects, and just keep making a bigger name for myself. I would say. So.
Listen, I mean, we're excited to have you. We thank you. You and your dad, great people, and we appreciate you coming to the event. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We're gonna see you next week. You take care, okay?
All right, you too.
All right. Listen, Madre, like I told you, guy, uh,
Class act.
humble, yeah, humble,
Yep.
very low key. She doesn't come in. She's a silent assassin. And when I say she's a silent assassin, man, you just be like, man, what is going on? And you look up, she did hit you for 25 or 30, man. And people have to understand, man, like, you don't have to show out and let the whole world know, look at me, this, that, and the other. She's a class act. She does what she has to do. She takes care of business on the court and off the court, and people are going to notice that. You know what I mean?
100%. I love it. I love it. When you tell me, the high major offers plus Harvard, that tells me how seriously she takes academics. That's a big thing for the both of us. And just like she's got a great energy, like a super great energy about her that does say that, yeah, I take this seriously. I'm very good at my craft. I'm serious about what I do. But you know, hey, Amir down in South Florida, Coach Amir Abdul Rahim says it best that five-star character makes five-star basketball players. And that her energy to me just shines through as that, like a high character, high quality human being, as well as a great basketball player. So I can't wait. I can't wait to watch those matchups. It's going to be great.
Oh, absolutely, definitely, man. The next guest is no different, man. Next guest is no different.
Ooh, it's going to be a show. The show. Listen. Marietta, stand up. Marietta's on. The Blue Devils on. She's going to be protecting the home floor. I just, man, maybe they're going to be some Marietta shorts under what, you know what I mean? Listen, I don't know what the superstition is. I'm going to ask about it. I don't know what the tradition is. I don't know what the superstition is. But this young lady, Marietta, as a city, has a lot to be proud of when you talk about this next young lady that is coming up to bat. Lock in with us early for camp. Extremely accomplished. Another young lady with multiple Power Fives just got Texas A&M here recently, but we'll bring her back from backstage. Leah DeWitt, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great. It's so happy for you to be on with us and take some time to come and talk with us. We can't wait till next Saturday to be able to get a chance to watch you play. I'm super excited. I know Dave's super excited. But before we get into the interview, we definitely just wanted to say congratulations on a fantastic summer. All the offers are 100% earned. So congratulations to you and your family on that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Leah, let me start off the questions. You know, you played for AEBL this summer, and you know it was widely known that a lot of people looked at you guys as a trio from the guard perspective because it was you, Momo, and Morgan, and then you turn around and then you have the big young lady down low. Oh, L'Oreal. I'm just like, man, it's like you guys came out of nowhere. I'm gonna fill you in on something you had no idea. I had no idea who you guys were. I was on the same plane with you all when you all went up to Pittsburgh to play in the tip-off tournament. I'm looking like, oh, okay. Oh, we got a team from Atlanta. Okay, that's nice. Oh, okay, they're a little independent team. I didn't even know at the time. I saw you guys playing in Pittsburgh. I was like, I texted Madre. I was like, hey, whoever this is, they're pretty good. I was like, they're really good. And I was like, okay. And it just so happened. Then I start asking you around. It was like they was like, oh, they're the new team. And I was like, okay. And it just so happened I was fortunate enough to see you guys a couple more times. And by the time I got a chance to see you guys at the end of the season at in Rock Hill, I was like, oh yeah, this is a household name now. I know this team because you guys are full of very good players. And I'm leaning into that, you know, you have so many good players, and Dre, and I have no problem saying this. You have a multitude of D1 players on your team. How do you feel? Did it take an adjustment to fit in with so many good players?
Honestly, I've been playing with them for a couple years now, so the
Mhm.
chemistry, like, it can only go up. So it's been like fun playing with them and just like, knowing what we do, it just all like falls together and we rarely have any errors together. So honestly, it's been good.
Dre, I hate you didn't get a chance to see them play. I'm telling you, trust me.
Hey, I'm gonna
Yes.
I'm gonna I'm gonna make it up this year. Trust me. Um, Leah, I was there when your dad first got the job at Marietta High School and watched him do his thing and watched him coach and win a state championship. Tell us a little bit about the family. You come from a basketball family that a lot of people may not know. Sister plays, and she's got multiple Division Ones. Dad is an accomplished coach. What's that like in the household when you guys are watching film together? That's got to be fantastic.
Yes, it's been good. We've been watching film lately on our fall ball games. But it's a good thing to know, like, to have a basketball family and know that you can look up to them and listen to them, knowing that they know what they're talking about and doing. So, like, whenever we mess up, like, we know, like, we can always go to them because they've been at like our same level. They've been to D1 level. So
That's good stuff. Um, Marietta's own. There's a lot on the line. There's been a lot of anticipation about you being in that Blue Devil uniform. Um, are What do you think that's going to be like walking out there for the very first time wearing that uniform and being coached by dad? What do you feel like that's going to be like?
I think it's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to multiple wins and just getting far in the season as my freshman year. I'm really excited to be coached by my dad. I've been coached by him for a couple years now, and just knowing that, like, me and him, like, we always like on the same page about anything, like, or whether it's from IQ or like, in the practices, like good practices. It's going to be really good, and I feel like we have a chance in that state championship.
For sure. You've got one season before little sis joins you in that backcourt. But you do have a few teammates that are riding with you this year that are really good as well. We've got a couple of those teammates coming to camp. You just told us that you feel like you guys can have a really good year. How's fall league going? Is everybody on the same page? Are you guys working really hard right now?
Yes, we're working really hard, just preparing for the regular season. We do have a new addition, one new guard with us. We're just finding our chemistry together, just trying to build up, so we don't have like a rough season. I know we won't, but just figuring out what we're doing and just gonna go on from there.
One thing I know, Leah, is that Marietta community is super special. My son played there and went there, and there are a lot of people who graduated from Marietta, even in the 70s, that come back and attend those games. It's a very, very special place. Has that hit home for you yet about how special not just winning is, but winning at that place?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to see this upcoming year in my next 3 years of high school, but I'm honestly really excited just from watching my dad coach his players from the previous years. It's just a really good environment to be in. It's really loud. You have a lot of fans, people like coming from all over. It's a good experience.
Let me ask you this, Leah. Coming into this camp on Saturday, now you had a great summer, and now you're getting to play against some of these top players coming from the Southeast that might not have been on the Adidas lineup this past summer. What is going to be your mindset coming into this against these really good players from EYBL, Under Armour, and Independent?
I'm just looking to dominate. I'm not looking for any particular player, just being me, not changing how I play. Just ready to go kill, and yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it. I feel like I already know the answer to this question, but Leah, I gotta ask. This is a question I ask to every hooper I've ever had on the show. Game on the line, last 3 seconds of the game. Would you rather hit a game winner in front of your home crowd and have them go crazy for you, or would you rather hit a game winner on the road and send the opposing team's fans home sad? What would be your preference?
Probably at home, because at Marietta our environment's big, and when like you make like history or you win a game, like it's gonna sit there with you forever. Everybody's gonna remember. Nobody's gonna forget.
Yes. I love it. Legacy. Legacy.
Okay. And Leah, and I'm going to ask this as well. And even though we know the answer to this, this is off of basketball. You're a high academic kid as well. I know your parents place a great importance on that as well. Between juggling academics at Marietta and juggling, the rigorous, practice schedule that you have, do you feel high school is going to be any different now? You know, now that you're a good month in, because Marietta started in early August. Do you feel that's been an adjustment with your academics in high school now?
Um, so far it's been like a little different from like now going into high school and then middle school, like more work, more like stuff you have to keep up with, but not really yet so far, because we haven't started practicing for like our season yet, like other than open gyms. But just like I find my time through things and manage it really well, so it hasn't been really an issue yet.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Leah, I gotta ask, who are some of your favorite players that maybe you try to pattern your game after, whether NBA, WNBA, or even college? Like, who are some of the players that you look up to and really try to pattern your game after?
So NBA, I say Stephen Curry. Not only can he can shoot the ball, but the stuff he does without the ball, it's incredible to watch. He makes so much opportunities for his teammate moving without the ball. And him for NBA and for WNBA is Asia Wilson. Like, I just enjoy watching her because she's tall, but she moves like a guard and she can do everything. Like, she can shoot from the three, she can hit like the mid range that most post bigger tall people can't really hit on an easy target. But she just moves around everywhere, and she's fun to watch.
Have you been to any dream games?
Not this year, but the previous years, yes.
Okay.
Asia Wilson averaging 27 and 11. Like, it's insane. Almost 3 blocks a game. She's like a video game character watching her play. Like, it's crazy.
MVP.
For sure. Leah, let's just talk about some of your goals. We know like you can shoot the cover off the basketball, but what are some of the things that you feel like you're going into the season, strengths that you're trying to strengthen even more, or even things that maybe you're trying to improve on going into the season?
I'm definitely trying to improve the consistency of my shot, try to make more shots than I do now. And probably just, working more around with my teammates, like getting them to, instead of me trying to play like them, I want them to play like me, and just, know the mindset to have every game or every practice. I want them to be on the same level as me, we're going to go into this practice and work really hard, not going to take anything for granted, because it will come back on us in the season or whenever game we play. So I just want make good positive thoughts around me and my teammates, and be in one circle and not everybody's there.
Spoken like a true champion. I love it. Leah, is there anybody that you want to shout out or anything, give credit to, say thank you to before we go?
I want to say thank you to my parents, my AU coach, Coach Kisa. They've been throughout my whole journey through middle school, beginning of middle school, and obviously my parents through elementary school, because that's when I started. I started playing basketball when I was 5 years old, and I've been playing. I've always played up. I've never played my grade level. I've always played up. And for my AU coach, Coach Kisa, I remember playing. I was being a guest player for Made Hoops in 6th grade, and I remember we won that, and it was a great experience. And that's when I knew that's gonna be my coach throughout my whole high school career. And we have such a good bond. So that's who I want to thank right there, because they have a part in my career that I will never forget.
Awesome.
Absolutely. I like
Awesome.
that.
Outstanding, Leah. We appreciate you coming on. It's been great having you on here. I love your steady demeanor. To me, meeting somebody and how they play in the game and how you handle yourself in person really lines up. We can see how steady you're going to be. It's going to be a great day to be a Blue Devil come November when the season tips off, and you can guarantee that you'll see me in the gym supporting and cheering you on. So thank you for coming on. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You take care.
Leah DeWitt, everybody.
Man, she's one of those ones where people understand she plays well beyond her years.
She does. But when you're the daughter of a coach, playing basketball like a coach's kid, hearing her talk, right? Her mentality is that, right? She already has big expectations for Marietta and how well they're going to be this year. This is a team that after the state championship took a little bit of a dip, and it looks like she's ready to ratchet it back up and get them back there. I know Coach DeWitt is super happy about that, to have a little more firepower coming in. So, and she's right about that Marietta building. Winning, Marietta is one of those special places that winning there, after you graduate, it'll be 10, 15 years after that. People will still frequently talk about those games. It is Marietta, the city of Marietta is just a special place, a really connected place where, like I said, you frequently, oh, I graduated in 1978, or I graduated, and those people are always at the games watching. So it's a special community. They're going to set it on fire. I can't wait uh, until that takes place. November, I'll be there. We'll tip it off. I'll be in the building.
Okay. I know you will. You'll be at a number of places this fall.
Yeah, well, gas up the car this year.
Yeah, hoping gas prices coming down.
Listen. Now we have our closer.
Closer.
This is
Be glad we don't have our closer music for baseball, Jay.
give me time. Give me time. No, this is super important to me because we started Southeast Top 100 with the idea of really locking in with the community and really building something special in the state of Georgia. You are a national evaluator. I feel like one of the best in the country. But from a media perspective, Georgia has always been something special for me in trying to help the kids in Georgia. So to see someone that has this level of talent and this type of program come in and really show us love and give us their best, trust us with their best very early on, it really means a lot. I am 100% appreciative and grateful. And, it's these types of relationships that I think are going to make this collaboration between Love of the Game and Women's Hoops Hidden Gems work. And that's not to say that there was no work involved. There was a lot of work. We had to prove ourselves, again and again. But these types of relationships in a community can't go understated at all. So we'll just bring her right up. Coach Kisa, how are you?
How are you guys?
Good. Thank you. Very good. Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate you.
No, thank you for having me.
Listen, having Leah on there, I always tell the story about you guys when you guys first went up to Pittsburgh for the Western PA Bruins tip-off. I didn't know who you guys were. I didn't, and I have no shame in saying that. And I saw you guys. You were on the plane with me, and I mean, little did you guys know that. You guys didn't know me. I didn't know you, and I'm like, oh look, an independent team going up to Pittsburgh. Oh, that's nice. And when I saw you guys play, I was like, wait a minute, they're pretty good. I'm like, they're really good. I was like, okay. And then I saw you play again, and I texted Madre and was like, hey man, I don't know who this is, but they're really good. And by, with me being all over the place, I got a chance to see you guys a couple more times throughout the year. And it went from, hey, they're pretty good to you guys got 60, 70, 80 coaches at your games. And that's a testament to what you all have built over there at AEBL in such a short time. By the time we got to NCAA Academy, man, I had to stand. I was not pleased about that. Not pleased at all. I had to stand to watch you guys play. But fortunately, it wasn't just me standing. It was a bunch of us standing watching that game. And Madre, it was one of the best games, arguably, of the season. They lost in double overtime. And when I say that game was amazing. It went from, like I said, it was probably about 50 to 60 starting out to watch the game. By the time it was in overtime, they had pretty much the whole court. And so what people don't know in Rock Hill, the coaches have a stage that they can watch games from. They had all the coaches over from one side watching the game, as well as the court packed out for that double overtime game. And I feel like even though they lost that game, it was an amazing game. I feel like that's one of those games where nobody really lost because now everybody knows the AEBL brand because of the guard play, the wings, the post play. Like they're like, man, there's multiple D1 players on this team, and that was 16U. What we talking about, Dre? That was 16U. I mean, 17U had some good players as well, but man, I don't know what you all did to build so fast, but it's working. It's absolutely
Yeah.
working, and I can only imagine your phone has been ringing nonstop since July 29th.
Yeah. No, it's a special group. It really is. And this year it's crazy because that's just how the world is. It's always like this overnight success, but really
Yeah.
we've been at this thing for a long time. And as Leah DeWitt mentioned, back when we made hoops, we went 20-0 as sixth graders, and it's the same team. We do have,
Wow.
some added players, but it's the same girls. And here they are at ninth grade, and they're just believing in the dream that I had as a little girl, and now it's become their dream. And they know the work that goes into it. And I mean, it's just such a special group. No egos. They just want to hoop, and that's what makes it so easy for myself and my coaching staff to do what we do. And it's a show every time, and it's exciting. And I'm extremely blessed to be able to coach the girls that I coach and have the type of players that we have in our program. But didn't happen overnight, but it's the grind. And as a female, a Black female in this industry, it's not easy. But the grit and the why, behind it keeps us going. And those little girls are my why. There's nothing I won't do. And I'm the first to tell you, when I first started, I knew nobody. I only knew the coaches that I played for. I played at UNC Charlotte under Katie Meyer and Amanda Butler, who at Louisville, and Katie Meyer just retired from Miami. Those were the only two contacts I had. Luckily, I didn't have high school players during that time, but my goal every live period was to get 30 to 50 contacts that I didn't have prior to that. And I don't stop. And when you see me, I'm working the room, and I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. I'm not afraid to ask for help. I'm not afraid to ask questions. So I think with that grit, that's what's going to take, for anybody to get to where they want to get to. And when you have the why that I have, you won't stop. And now we're crazy connected. There's no coach that I can't reach out to right now.
I see why. Listen, I'm a believer. Trust me. And like when I told my buddy here, I was like, man, you got to see them play. I was like, trust me, you got to see them play. And with Cy-Fair speaking highly of you with Bobby, that speaks volumes as well, because everybody knows who Cy-Fair is, and for you all to come on the scene, and I'm glad you told that story, because I didn't know. I just thought you gathered up a couple kids. I was like, man, this is amazing. But I'm glad Leah told that you guys have been playing for years together, because from an outsider looking in, I was like, whatever she's doing, oh, she's got magic. I was like, man, like it makes more sense now, now that you've explained that. But the thing I love about what you just said is the passion. And you don't get to this part without having the passion and the wherewithal to be like, I'm going to make it. And you said you didn't know any coaches. And now, I know that phone's ringing. You don't have to tell me. I know.
Yeah. And I also make it ring. I've got some players that, my program, I would say 75% of my program is not Power 5. So that's what makes up our program, right? And with our Power 5 kids, they can't play the way they play. They can't win the way they win without the 75% that we have that's not Power 5. So my husband and I were out grinding. We're getting those videos out. We invested in a media team to follow us and make sure that our social media was on point, make sure that all of the kids were getting love and getting those videos out to college coaches. It made it a lot easier for us. And shout out to our video guy, 941 Visuals. He's amazing. Johnny really put us on, on blast on social media. And but it, like I said, it made our jobs easier where we're able to reach out to college coaches with video and content. And here's, a little story and background, and whether they responded right away or not, they eventually did. And that's what was, what mattered to us. We're not going to call and ask for an offer, but we will make sure you know who our kids are and you know their names.
So I've got questions about the connection to ABL, but I wish you could have heard the phone calls between me and Dave early on. It was hilarious. I was familiar. I agree with Bobby. I love Summer Edwards as well. I was familiar with ABL.
Yes.
From the Pro-Am in the summer, of being there every summer watching the Pro-Am. And I heard him make mention of jumping into AAU or having ABL Junior League and things like that going on. But mostly I was just watching the Pro-Am. How did that relationship with ABL kind of come about?
Yeah, so Richard Jeter, who's with United Family, is another 3SSB team or program, I should say. I've known him for years. He's a blessing to women's basketball, really is. Him and his wife, so dedicated and passionate about this. And he always just had our back. And we started off with Tony Delk, then went to TSF, and, just throughout and then we end up going EYBL with Southern Stars. And so through all of that, he was calling, trying to get us on Adidas, and honestly didn't know much about Adidas at that time. So, everybody's so focused on EYBL, and so I didn't really pay it too much attention. Finally got on the Adidas circuit, absolute blast, best experience we've had. And he was very close with Ja Rawlings, who's the founder and CEO of AEBL, and everything they do in our community. And it's just a beautiful thing of what they built. And he heard that they were going to become an Adidas team, and but they didn't have any girls. And so he just was like, "Hey, Keith, just sit down with them and just hear them out." There was no like, you need to partner with them, whatever. And it just worked. We got together, had breakfast together, he and my husband and I. And I mean, just all of the stuff he does in the community. I mean, it just tugged at my heart. That's exactly what we're about. We just were so in line that it just made sense. And it was the easiest partnership that I've ever experienced. I mean, because we get a lot of calls, people want to take all the work that we've put into this. They just kind of want the handoff. And it just wasn't that way with him. And I mean, we would not have had the year we had without Ja Rollins and AEBL. And that is a name that we will forever have. This is actually, we joke all the time, and my kids have traveled with me through it all, but we've changed jerseys every single year. We've gone from TDBA with Tony Delk to TSF, to Southern Stars, to FGB, to AEBL. And this will be the first year, coming up that we will actually have the same jersey name. And we're excited about that. But this partnership is just a beautiful thing. I mean, we try, our program is at either no cost or low cost because of my husband and I's story, where we just were kids that couldn't afford anything. And we also have, we now have 5 kids from Africa that, we provide everything for them. And Ja really stepped in. And then just the partnerships we have with, what is it, NBA without borders, and, just the help that we had really, really made us, helped us to have a successful year. It really did.
That's an awesome story. That's an awesome story. I had a chance to interview Ja just 2 years ago. After we broadcasted, live streamed the AEBL and called the championship game. And after the games, we had a chance to sit down and interview and hear his story. Amazing story that he has as well. But you're absolutely right. His commitment to the community in Atlanta has been second to none, and the show that he puts on. So this story of how you guys got connected actually makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like-minded individuals getting together for the betterment of the kids involved. So now the story coming together makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your background. You talked about where you played at, but like, how did you grow up, and when did you first really kind of like fall in love with the game?
Yeah, no, I grew up in Oregon. A lot of people don't know that. But I moved here to Atlanta, Georgia when I was 14, and I went to Redan High School. And I just wanted to be like my cousin. I don't know why, but my cousin, he was a senior when I was a freshman, and that was the first time I picked up a basketball. I was the first to go to college, and I knew that going into, before even going into college, but I knew the only way was through a sport. And so I had that grit to just make it happen. And I went, we couldn't afford trainers, my mom, we moved here from Oregon due to military. She was stationed at Warner Robins Air Force Base. And I lived with my aunt in Georgia just so I can go to the same school as my cousin. So basketball came really easy to me, but yet I still had my struggles, because it was brand new. We had, what was it called back then? I think it was called hoops. It's now it's off Memorial Drive. I forget, what is it?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. The 24-hour.
ISA.
24.
I remember when it was
yeah.
hoops.
Yeah. It used to be called hoops when I was back there. So I was a good kid. So my mom trusted me, but I was there all night. And I remember there was a trainer training Teresa Edwards back then. And I was watching him on another court because we couldn't afford training. And I was just doing the same thing. Whatever Teresa Edwards was getting trained on, I was over there doing the same thing. And one day I got caught, and I did this for months. I knew what time they were coming up there. I got caught, and I was scared out of my mind. This young, just 14. I wanted to make varsity. That was my goal as a freshman. And his name was Nino Samuels, and he has recently passed away. But he's huge, and came up, and I'm just this little skinny girl. And he's like, I've been watching you, and you're still in my workouts. And so, but later I realized he was just playing around, and he ended up taking me on and started training me. And so he was my trainer all throughout high school. And then we still couldn't afford AAU. So I was the unsigned senior. Nobody came to my high school. I remember Georgia State came one time, and that was about it. So unsigned senior, I got to play in the Deep South Classic, one tournament. I've never played at AAU a day in my life, and I could only afford that one tournament. We mustered up $700. I don't even know who loaned the money to my mother, and I played in the Deep South Classic. And there was one coach, and Katie Meyer, she recruited me to play at Tulane University. And she saw 2 games, and I had the games of my lifetime. Never played like that before. It was all God. She offered me the scholarship on the spot back then. I guess, as an unsigned senior, I guess you do that. I don't know. But she offered me the scholarship. I committed. And then she later let me know that she got the head coaching job at UNC Charlotte. I had no idea what that was. I was like, I want to play D1. I want my last name on the back of my jersey. So I was like, she said, just trust me. It is D1, but trust me, come see the campus. And when I went to see the campus, I fell in love. So Amanda Butler was her head assistant coach, and they've been my mentors ever since. And then how we started AAU was, I have 5 kids. I've got 3 girls first, and we started my daughter off with a local team here, and it just wasn't it. And we promised her, but she committed. We like, you can't quit. We're big on that. And so we made her go through the season, and we lo and behold, didn't realize that the better opportunity was my husband and I coaching her. And so that's how we got started, was all for her. And it took off. Now at the level that we're at, I can definitely say, and she knows this, but our kids are humble and no egos here, but Morgan Reckley, we found Morgan Reckley, and she set the bar for our program. I knew if I did not go and find the same caliber players, and she was only in 5th grade at the time, that I was going to lose her. And so I just went out crazy and started recruiting, and I learned a lot of good, recruiting tactics, not tactics, but like the recruiting process, and then just the experience, and the love you need to share and be genuine with these players and parents. I learned that early within my college career, and just went after it. And some players, it took a year and a half, but I knew in what I needed to do and provide for those players to create this experience that no one wants to leave, and one that is going to be memorable for these players. Leah DeWitt is one that it took a year. L'Oreal Murray, it took a year. Nakai Worthy, it took I think 2 years with her. So, but we're patient with it. It's all Godspeed. So you can't rush the process, but so she set the bar, and that's how we ended up with the type of players we have with, Kamora Moore was another big time player that, took it to another level as well. But all of them put together, this group is something special. And as long as they stay together, they're gonna do a lot. They're gonna do a lot.
I love that story, and there's a reason why I love that story. And Madre's it's touching because we did the same thing. We did the exact same thing you did. 100%. We both have kids. We both have kids around the same age. And to your point, they both played in different AAU programs, and we looked at it, and we just didn't think it was what it should be. And we got together and we created a program from scratch. And the only difference is we didn't get the star players. We got the players at the end of the bench and created it from there. And so when you said that, we totally understand where you're coming from. We feel that, and to build it to, not to what you all built it to, because we stayed independent. And fortunately, because in Atlanta, on the boys' side, you don't have to travel. Yeah, it's different. Yeah. So we just stayed on the radar and we ran with that. But by the time we got to 17U, we had people like, hey, come play in this event, come play with us. And then we started to have some of the shoe teams start to say, hey, come think about this. So, but when I listened to you, with you and your husband, you almost gave me nightmares because of the grind it took to get to that point. Well, I think I might have lost a piece of hair when you were talking about that, because nobody understands that until you actually experience it. And when you experience it, and then you're trying to keep everybody happy, you're trying to show that, hey, we're building something special here. It takes special parents, it takes special kids to buy into that, because it's so easy for them to leave, because as you know, the next big thing could just be like, oh, they got a good program now, go pick off their kids.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it is, it's something that you're going to go through that. And I don't want kids that no one else wants. So go for it. I want everybody to want my kids. They are special kids. And, I get that, we could say that they came in stars, but they're all homegrown kids. They grind just like we grind. Right. And they didn't have a name before we started this. Now, I don't take credit for that by any means. They put in that work, and they also, what I love about our parents and our players is they really trust the process. And I think it's because we gave them a process they could trust. And, because you hear that all the time, trust the process or whatever, but what am I trusting? Right. And of course we're going to have our ups and downs. There's no program that's perfect. My program's not perfect, but they believe in it. They believe in what I want wanted to do with this program. And I also think a lot of what makes us different is that we don't do it for money. And when you move just true by heart, because we've never made a dime, we are always in the negative, meaning we're going into our bank account, right? And we have no problem doing that. And we want to keep it that way because we're doing it the right way, because there's no financial benefit behind any of this. This is truly just to get these kids in college doing the things that they love to do. Right. And then we do take advantage of the fact that they want to play basketball. So now you're going to go to this etiquette class. You're going to go to self-defense class with Marietta Police Department. You're going to go and do a book club or Bible study, whatever, all these things that, we can add into there to build a well-rounded student athlete. But we just have really, we've got dope parents. We've got dope players that just want to play basketball. They just want to hoop. And because of that, it works. And so we're all in this together. A lot of people say that our program, or, they'll say that, it's not smart to let the parents build your program, but it works for us. We build this together. We come together, we get on our Zoom calls and say, okay, this is what we want to do. What's the plan? How are we going to get here? And we go up every single year, no matter what is thrown at us. And a lot is thrown at us. But I think we have such a special bond that is really hard to tear apart. These players now have made a name for themselves, all by the just hard work that they put on that court, the blood, sweat, the tears, the committed parents, the sacrifices that they make to do this, that now it doesn't matter where they play. It don't matter what circuit we're on. Them college coaches are coming, right? My phone will not stop. Their phones won't stop. We have them on a schedule with recruiting process, to make sure that we're showing the love back to those college coaches as well. We're invested in this. And so, it just works because every year we're throwing something new and, we just ride with it. All right, what we doing, and what is the goal, and we don't play for today. My goal is for these girls to be their junior and sophomore years. Now the seeds have harvest and right now we're just planting seeds. That's all we're doing. So we're going to play them 2 grades up. We're going to throw them in the fire. We're going to let them struggle. We don't feel like they're going to get any better unless it's through the struggle. We also have players that are so committed to their teammates and the sacrifices they have to make. Look at Leah DeWitt. She's so much more than a shooter, but every time we get on with somebody, it's, she's a sniper. Yes, she is a sniper, but she can do so much more. But when she's with our AAU team, she plays her role. She does what the team needs from her. They all do it. They all play their role. And then when you get them in school ball, all of a sudden you're like, dang, I didn't know she could do that. And every year the role changes, right? Watch what we're going to do with L'Oreal Murray next year. And a lot of y'all don't know she can shoot threes. She's hitting step back threes now, but we're going to make sure they, for one, look really good in front of college coaches. So we're not going to have them, trying new things or whatever. We're going to save that for later. And then we have a game plan. This year, this is what we're going to focus on. Next year, now we're going to stretch you. Now we're going to, Leah's going to run the point, whatever it is. And it's just really planned out so that their sophomore and junior years, they're ready to go.
I love that. I love it. Dave talks about our story being kind of familiar with that as you speak, man. It's like deja vu a little bit of
absolutely
building the team. And by the time we were at 17U, we're at that level. Coaches around the court. Like Dave mentioned, we took a lot of guys that people didn't want in 7th grade. But by the time we were 17U, it was coaches around the court and coach, we need like, scheduling visits and getting on the road and all that stuff. So, man, that's an incredible story. And it makes sense now, the reason why your players are so connected, right? It was funny. I just got to tell you this. I was speaking to my son this morning and telling him that, reminding him of the lifetime friendships that he made because of basketball and how important that was. And that, hey, man, you don't have to worry about being friends because your friends came to college with you. Y'all went to college together. and because of basketball, you've had these friends your whole life. So I can't wait until the junior and senior year for some of these young ladies when they realize that, oh, we've been connected and we've been cool since fifth grade, sixth grade. I'm sure maybe you'll have, a couple of those young ladies end up going to college together. It's a beautiful thing when it becomes more than just basketball, when it becomes graduations and weddings and baby showers and all this other kind of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like the family part of it that I can tell you guys have when I listen to you speak about your program, when I listen to your players speak about the program as well. It's a beautiful thing. I hope the parents don't take that for granted because you can't get family everywhere.
Right.
You can go play basketball, you can wear another jersey, but you can't get family. People who really care about you don't come a dime a dozen. That is something that is a huge blessing. Don't let the basketball fool you. Family is first, and that doesn't come everywhere. And it looks like you guys have that in spades.
Yeah, no, that's very important to us that, we instill that. We want them to see healthy relationships. They see the husband and wife team. They see my kids running around the court. They see me yelling at my son half the time in practice. But that's what it's going to take. They're going to remember that. I'm very honest with my life with the girls. Making sure that they don't make the same mistakes, or if they do, they remember, okay, Coach Kisa went through this, so it is a really special thing. We really want to do, and our goal is to, and we're bought in to make sure that we do the impossible. We hear it all the time. You're not going to be able to keep these kids together. You're not going to be able to do it. Right. We're going into our 5th year now. And I see it all the time. My dream, to stand on that podium at the end of the year party or whatever we decide to do that year and just say, we did it. We did it. Right. So our goal is to just create a program that is hard to leave, an experience that you don't want to leave. And if you do, you want to come back. And we will take you back. We're not that program. Sometimes parents and players have to see it, or it might not be the best program for you, or let's go test out another program just to kind of see. They're young enough. You're not, we're not expecting you to, marry us. If it doesn't feel right, then, let's do what can we do to make it right? And we will welcome you back with open arms, because a lot of times it's just the parents, and we are all about these kids. So I will go through hell and high water for these kids. So, and that's what our focus is always is as long as you keep your focus there, it's easy to do what we do.
Parents, I'm just word of advice. Parents, word of advice.
Oh boy.
The grass always looks greener on the other side.
On the other side.
But whether it is your AAU choice or program choice or your college choice, I have always told kids, and excuse my language, you better go where they love you at. Right. Everybody don't love you. Everybody don't love you. Ask your AAU director about how many people just want to come and get whatever they can get from you. And it's always my guy. It's always that in the beginning, but love stands the test of time. At your best, at your worst, you better go where they love you at. And if you already where they love you at, you better stay where they love you at.
Amen. No, that's huge.
Have a bad game and then see how somebody else treats you. We've had that experience. We've had players have that experience. So yeah, all that stuff they promise you, and then
it's gone.
Yeah, have a bad shooting day, and then see how they treat you. But no, this has been fantastic. Like, you are. All the questions and all the phone calls we've made trying to figure out everything that was going on inside of the program, you just simply came on and made it all make sense.
by
man.
being herself and authentic. She didn't have
Uh-huh.
to sell. She didn't sell one thing. She didn't sell
Absolutely.
one
Right.
thing.
Um,
But the fact that she told our story, unfortunately, she told our story all like listen to her, like, I know when we started talking, Dre, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, have we lived this or
oh, we
what?
lived it. We lived it
Oof.
100%.
Yeah.
And tell your husband we appreciate him as well. I hope we get the
Definitely.
chance to meet him and see him on next Saturday. Cannot wait to. You guys are doing a fantastic job, and the real work in the community is necessary. There are people out there who paint AAU directors and AAU coaches almost like entourages and hangers on, and it's like, wait a minute. I know more AAU coaches that are coming out of their pocket to make things possible for players than I know AAU coaches who are making any money off of their program. So hearing your story is a beautiful thing. This is what it's really all about in the grassroots space. So I just wanted to tell you, we appreciate you so much. Anything that we can do as a platform to help you guys, we are absolutely here to do that. So
Yeah, you guys as well. Anything we can do to help, we're really big on that. And our goal is to grow, change the future of women's basketball, and this is what it's going to take. And we will not stop. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this and just make women's basketball cool. That's all we ask. So it's needed, and yeah, I know it's a thankless job, but please know that your work does not go unnoticed. We are very grateful.
We're grateful for you as well. I mean, sometimes it just takes that person that you never know and you share that same vision. And, there's no way, from going from seeing you guys on a plane, there's no way I could imagine we shared so much in common. I mean, man, when you said going into your own pocket, boy, I could have brought out the tambourine for that one. Trust me. Oh,
Yeah, but
but
they make it easy. I mean, it's not.
yeah,
I,
it's not that you have a problem with it, not at all. It's worth it in the end. And I'm going to beat you to the punch, Kisa. You wait till they graduate. That's going to be a emotional time when they graduate and when it's time for them to go to college, because you'll think about, like you said, them back in fifth and sixth grade to where they're at now. And then there's on their signing day and you're taking pictures,
yeah.
graduation day, all of that. Trust me, we just beat y'all to the punch a couple years, but you're on that same path. And I love it. I love it.
signing day, I went to go cry in the car.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, I hate to say that we don't get paid, because that is how we get paid. When I mean, it could be something simple like you've been working on left-hand layups with a fifth grader and she finally does it in the game, or someone gets their first offer. That's how we get paid. And, and I get on my players. You get an offer, or you get a college coach to call you, or, UConn calls you, whatever. You better let me know, or and I also like that our program is so small, because I want that intimate experience with them. I want to be on those college coach visits. It's not about me, but I want to see that smile. That's how we get paid. So we are paid very well. So I hate saying we're not paid, but yeah, they make it easy. I've been working 2 jobs for the past 3 years to make it happen, and I have no problem doing it. And I will continue to do it as long as these little girls have those smiles on their faces.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
Kisa, we appreciate you taking some of that precious time and spending
Yeah.
it with us tonight. So we appreciate you doing that. Again, tell your husband we said hello. We appreciate his efforts as well of making this team a possibility. So
Thank you guys so much.
Definitely. You take care. We'll definitely be talking soon. We'll see you next week. Okay.
Yep, we'll be there.
Okay. Man, Dre. Oh my God.
what a fantastic story. That is just
Bro.
phenomenal. That made my night. Now I'm good. That made my night. That is a fantastic story. For those that don't know, like, I started Love of the Game after it was LeBron, Chris Paul, and some of the other NBA guys. There was just a huge attack against AAU, like a huge outcry of blaming AAU for everything that's wrong with basketball. You cannot listen to Keisha George and think that that's what's right with basketball. This is what's right with grassroots basketball in America. It's people like Coach George, the ABL program. Like, it upset me so much that we started an AAU organization and a media company because we felt like, no, man, that there are so many people who are doing it right and trying to do right by these kids that, for that to be overshadowed by, whomever, one or two people who may be involved in some of the wrong things, I don't know. But to make that the blanket story of AAU is corrupt or somehow when people are doing work like what she's doing, like those stories, I will scream for the mountaintop for those type people any day of the week. That was phenomenal.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, we gave you a national evaluator. We gave you 2 top tier players, ESPN 100 level players, and we gave you one of the best AAU directors in the building in one night, in one camp. I gotta say, it's a heck of a way to kick off a podcast. It's a heck of a way to do it, man. Any closing thoughts? Because they will not hear from us until after camp. They won't hear from us again until after camp.
We'll have a post-camp podcast. For you players that are coming, don't try and do anything out of the ordinary that you don't normally do, because you will stick out if that is the case. Be yourself, play hard, communicate, play defense, have a good time. This isn't something where I want you to think it's life or death. We don't want that. Like, we want you to play hard. We want you to realize what you excel at. We want you to realize what you need to work on as well. The evaluators are going to be there. They're going to let you know. You'll be able to see a lot of this with some of the awesome videographers that's going to be there. And that's what this platform is about. And that's why Keisha touched us so much, because me and this guy right here have been connected for 25 years almost. You're getting old, bro. You're definitely getting old. But it's just one of those things where people don't understand. Like, when you have a passion, you can feel other people's passion for it as well to help kids. Just like Bobby that's watching as well. Bobby's yeah, passionate. That's not even a good word. He's passionate as well. When I had other coaches come to me speaking on his behalf, that said a lot as well. That said a whole lot. And so I just look at this like, take advantage of this. And I'm hoping, for you guys that don't have that notoriety yet, if you can get, and let me say this, if you can get D1s, great. But if you can get those D2s, D3s, NAIs, and JUCOs, don't take it for granted, because you never know where those land. Because, like Keisha just said, her coach recruited her to Tulane, but she ended up taking a job at UNC Charlotte. And that's the same for a number of these coaches at D3s, D2s, and NAIs and JUCOs. They move up as well, and they will not forget if you talk crazy to them when they called on the phone. But if you were respectful, that will go a long way, a very long way.
For sure. Last thing I will say, hey, there are a few spots left. Go register. Go register. Don't wait for the invite. Go register.
That sold out edit is coming soon.
Go register for the event. We got a few spots left. Go register. You can look on Women's Gyms, WBB Gyms on the Twitter. You can look at Love the Game Pod on Twitter. The links are on Instagram. We put it everywhere that we could possibly put it on socials. Go register. go send it to somebody who needs to be there and register. We got a few spots left. We want to fill it out. We want to completely sell the camp out. So go register. Come get the smoke. Georgia, we love you. We appreciate you. Want to thank everybody for locking in with us tonight, and we will see you guys after camp for a full breakdown next week.